lot of interfaith work goes on in and around churches, mosques, gurdwaras and temples. But because it's not kind of labeled as interfaith, it goes totally ignored.
Yeah, it goes unnoticed sometimes.
It goes unnoticed. Because communities find their own ways of interacting and finding meeting. And sometimes the art of leadership is to allow communities to have that space to be able to do things and not to be always pushed around. That's one. The other is that I think leadership in interfaith to me involves thinking outside the box, and it also involves an element of risk as well. And if we can get a balance right in that, I think people want to live together. I think people want to interact together. They need a bit of encouragement, bit of space,
you have to push the boundaries,
bit of support, and sometimes you need to push boundaries. Give them that kind of initial notch.
If you take any particular area, if you take Pendle as an example, which I have knowledge of, and we have, for example, 10 mosques and maybe 35 plus churches. Now, in terms of different denominations and different sects, some are very open and broad in their outlook, and others are very narrow. So those who are open and broad, if you've got the leadership within, as far as the imam or the minister's concerned, as we mentioned before, they will lead themselves into positive relationships and their congregations, but they tend to be in the minority. Then it needs third-party facilitators to help encourage and facilitate opportunities. What are the motivations for someone to want to make a difference? What was your motivation within the classroom, in the school, when you spoke to have this conversation about racism? And then also think about in terms of our input into this part of the conversation, how can we practically share this within the community to say to people, we need to make a difference.
Me and a group of friends got together and just decided to do it because we were just so sick of the ignorance almost of some people. I think the main issue with racism and prejudice and all of it is just the fact that people don't know enough. And nobody understands a different religion, and every time I've been in a lesson, like at college or school or wherever, they've never really, I don't know, I've gone to church schools for quite a while, and I'm at a Catholic college now, and they almost they don't talk about other religions in the same way they talk about Catholicism or anything else.
I think one of the problems with prejudice is the role the media plays. I think the media is instrumental in building up people's prejudices, and those who wish to believe it find it very easy to believe. I mean, it's convenient to believe some of the rumours and the myths and the misinformation that's given through the press. And it just reinforces people's stereotypes and prejudices sometimes, and that's yet another thing that good leaders within the community have got to try and fight against.
But equally, I think when you say we as a faith community, there is a kind of a reluctance or fear to engage and interact with media. And my view is that if media comes to me for a response, if I don't give it, they'll go someone else. Because so therefore I think there's a lot that we need to do as faith communities, promote and push forward positive stories. Of course, I totally recognize that media wants to look for sound bites, they want to look for sensational stories, and sometimes good stories don't make news. We have responsibility as faith communities because we do a lot of good work. It's to make sure that is pushed. And I go around talking to some church leaders and some mosque leaders, and they have this kind of inbuilt fear of actually picking a phone up and talking to a reporter or a journalist. And it's about I think it's about skilling ourselves, giving ourselves training, giving ourselves and being prepared, because we are active actors in the society and community, and we should have something to say.